This is 4.2. This is our second day of solving rationals. So this is page 10 in the note packet. Sorry. All right, so what we're going to do is kind of the same thing that we did in 4.1. We've got to clear the denominators. So the denominators are going to make this a little bit trickier to solve. So we'll get rid of those. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by x plus 5. I said that wrong. We're going to multiply the numerator of each side by x plus 5, so then that will clear out. And then we have x squared plus 9x equals negative 20. Now you can't solve that just by trying to get the x's alone, so what we're going to have to do is treat it like a quadratic, which it is, and we'll have x squared plus 9x plus 20, set it equal to 0, then we can factor, use the zero product property, and solve. And then, remember, you're always going to want to check your solutions. So because we canceled out the denominators, we divided out x plus 5 divided by x plus 5 is 1, and then we got to check, and the excluded value here is negative 5. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0. You can't divide by 0. So this is actually not a solution. Here is your solution. All right, so same thing. We got to clear out the denominators, so I'm going to multiply everything by x plus 5. And that'll cancel this guy out. And then nothing cancels out on the far left, but then if we look to the right, I'm going to factor this to see what's going on, kind of what's behind the scenes, right? So I notice the x plus 5 will cancel out, but then I notice I have an x plus 7 still. So I'm going to multiply by that so it can then cancel out. So on the left we have x plus 5 times 1, and then x plus 7. And then that canceled out, so all our denominators are divided out, and we're left with 2. All right, so now we've got to solve. So we've cleared out our denominators, now we solve. We get x squared plus 12x plus 35, as I multiply those two together, plus x plus 7 equals 2. And then I'm going to combine like terms. I'll get x squared plus 13x plus 42 equals 2. And because it's a quadratic, I'm going to have to get it equal to 0 in order to solve. So I'm going to minus the 2. I'll have x squared plus 13x plus 40 equals 0. Then I'll factor that. Use the zero product property. And then solve those. So we have x equals negative 8, x equals negative 5. Remember, check your excluded values. So the excluded values are x cannot be negative 5 or negative 7, which means actually negative 5, you're no good to us. So the answer there is negative 8. All right, a few more examples. So here on the left, we have x plus 9 over x plus 6 equals 4 over x. I'm going to multiply both sides by x plus 6. So that clears out my denominator. It doesn't clear it out on the right. So I'm going to have to multiply both sides by x also. So that clears out the x. So then if you look on the left, I'm left with x times x plus 9 equals 4 times x plus 6. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the distributive property, get x squared plus 9x plus 4x, equals 4x plus 24. And then I'll get everything cleared out over here. So x squared plus 5x equals 24. Move that over as well. And then I'm going to have to factor. And I'll use the zero product property. So x equals -8, x equals 3, and then I'll check those. And the excluded values were -6 and 0, so these are both good. Okay, one more example. So again, we got to clear the denominators, so I'll multiply everything by x plus 1. Cancels out. Nothing cancels out in the middle. Cancels out. But notice we still have an x in the denominator, so I'm going to need to multiply by an x. So then that does cancel out there. So over here we're left with x squared, because we have the x times the x. Remember the x plus 1 canceled out. And then we have a minus 4 times x plus 1, and then equals -2x squared. Okay, so I have x squared minus 4x minus 4 equals -2x squared. I'm going to add 2x squared, add 2x squared. I'm going to get 3x squared minus 4x minus 4 equals 0. All right, and then I'm going to have to factor and solve. So I do 3 times -4, I get -12, which is -6 times 2 is kind of the magic number there. And then I'm going to divide by 3x and divide by a 2. So I get one solution will be in there, x minus 2, and the other one will be 3x plus 2. I'm going to use the zero product property. X equals 2, x equals -2/3. None of those are the excluded values, so we're good to go.